Where are we at? What do we know?
Your timing is really funny. I'm meeting with the owner on this Friday.
The landlord.
The landlord, correct. And he might have, I believe he has the ability to take back the space. Okay, which is going to benefit you because, I mean, you don't have to buy out you don't have to deal with some owner of a laundromat that wants more money than the business is worth, right?
I like your style because you're trying to sell me on something I've done, 36 times, and that's always my MO.
Oh, that's right. You're the laundromat guy.
That's what I said. Yeah, I'm unforgettable.
Okay, all right. I didn't get it. Okay.
I knew it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, sorry about that. My friend, I get all kinds of crazy calls. So
this is just another one of those. So if you to refresh your memory, my partner and I are always looking to sign leases, put some new blood into these laundries, do it properly, do it right, run it, operate it. I sent you an email and you said, something's probably going to happen, but you knew they weren't month to month and you were going to see what you could find out.
Yes.
So where are we at? What do we know?
Your timing is really funny. I'm meeting with the owner on this Friday.
The landlord.
The landlord, correct. And he might have, I believe he has the ability to take back the space. Okay, which is going to benefit you because, I mean, you don't have to buy out you don't have to deal with some owner of a laundromat that wants more money than the business is worth, right?
I like your style because you're trying to sell me on something I've done, 36 times, and that's always my MO. Look, we walked into the store, we did some laundry, we see what we can see. It's an utter armpit, to put it politely. And this is this is a nice center. You've got national chains. You've got folks trying. It looks like you redid the facade, and here we are. So I understand. And for whatever reason, they can take the space. And I hate to hear that. I'm not rooting for these laundries to fail, but they do it to themselves.
No, they totally do. And the guy's an older gentleman. He wants to retire. He was trying to do a deal with a Korean buyer, and that Korean buyer of the business, by the way, really wanted it.
Yeah.
Like he tried to make it work, the whole 9 yards. And
he got so far as to come in and do the coin and cash and
to look at. He apparently. I don't represent this guy. I have no idea who this guy is, but I heard about it, and they couldn't make a deal. So I know the owner of the business, of the laundry business, is a bit difficult. Okay, that's my impression. Now, if I can get the landlord, who's kind of dragging his feet for what I think is happening, because he doesn't want to evict anybody if he's going to have a vacancy, right?
Neither do I. No,
but
if
I don't feel I have to wipe everybody out, Tom. Just my enemies. That's all.
If the white knight comes running in from Arizona,
I'm making an offer. You don't refuse. Don't worry.
Right? Which I presume that's where you're from.
I have. We're local. I mean, I've got a yacht in San Diego. I have stores in New Mexico, California.
Your phone comes.
It's my cell phone, man. I'm standing right behind you.
Your cell phone comes.
So I knew you were getting in your car. I keep my wireless number because I've had the number for 25 years. But look, I could tell you, Dan, I could tell you this story. Okay, it unfolds over and over again. Someone buys or builds the laundromat. They toil away and work in there. They become old. The machines become old. And then they try to sell it. And this, your words, Korean guy comes in and says, oh, this is fabulous. I can't wait to work my fingers to the bone and run this place for 20 more years. But then the cracks start to develop and they notice, hey, gee whiz, it's not really making this money. And this equipment needs to constantly be fixed. And they walk away. And that happens several times. And then eventually, sadly, the guy's late on his rent. And now we are able to do something about that. But I can do whatever I can for you to make you feel comfortable that, yes, we have the wherewithal to get this done. And we're very serious about it. All I'm going to do is sign a 15-year term, try to beat the shit out of you on the rent because it is still a laundromat, my friend. I still have to have a reasonable. We might be the ones to make you decide that you don't want a laundry here because a commensurate rate of rent is not on par with a lot of other tenants. However, no guarantees in life, but I'm going to be spending $500,000 on equipment. And when I do that, I'm not going anywhere. So
you've got surety that you're going to stay. So
when do we talk about terms? Because that's the most important thing. You know, Dan, you might be crazy. I might be crazy. Maybe we're too far apart to even start this conversation.
Okay.
We're all real happy about your decision, Frankie. You're not going to regret it.
I don't like the C note, Lozado. I take that as an insult. Michael Corleone.
So no. Okay,
you tell me. Here's my philosophy. You need to be comfortable. Your tenant needs to be comfortable. Where do you need to be?
I am fine signing a lease on the exit of the current tenant, contingent on that exit, so we can talk terms. If and I can wait 6 months, 6 days. I don't want to wait 6 years, frankly. What's the square footage? Do you know the square footage?
I have to look it up. You know what?
Okay.
I'm out in the field. Can we do this? Okay. I really want to talk to you. Okay. Can you do me a favor? Like this you call me on my cell, which is perfect. Okay. Text and your full name and your email address, because that way I'll be able to look up your email address because I know we corresponded. Okay. And then I am going to give you information. Okay. I'm going to be headed to the office shortly. Okay. So that means like in about 45 minutes or so.
Sure.
Well, plus or minus, I'm going to email you, what I know about the square footage.
And let me say this: I'm not looking for tons of information. I don't need to know a damn thing about your previous operator. When I walk into a store, and I'm from New York, so it's like taking one bite of pizza. I know if it's good, bad, or indifferent. So when I walk into these laundromats, I say, "Oh my God, this place is not only performing to the nth degree, but not performing." At all. And the difference is these are community services. I mean, it seems everybody says they want to serve the community. A laundromat is not somewhere the consumer wants to be. They have to be there. So we make it very comfortable.
You're a destination.
I don't know if the air conditioning is up to par. Some of that stuff we might need help with. It seems like you've got a great landlord there. Look, I have looked at your other space for lease at $2 plus 99 cents. You're asking me what makes me comfortable. I need to start my lease rate at $20 all in, if that. So I've got spots, literally, I know, I have spots where I'm doing $12 a square foot to start, but it might be reasonable. And again, the difference is you got a nail salon up the block that they rely on 27 employees. Then you've got a national chain next door and they rely on buying their product from China. We're different. We're front loaded with $500,000. So I don't want to see the infrastructure go away either. So I do this again and again and again all day. It is a good spot. It's not about a destination for us when it comes to location. No, the infrastructure's there. I want it. I don't want to pay for it.
Let me do this, okay? Let me do this again. Let me get to my office. Let me get you some, the square footage. Yeah. Okay, and then let's talk terms. I do, just so you know, I've got a meeting from 3:45 until 4:15. Okay, at the office. That
no problem. I'm going
to run into.
Again, I'm in no rush.
So then the best thing for me to do is to send it to you while I'm in this meeting, and then I will call you at around 4:15, like a little after 4:15, and then you and I I'll talk terms with you.
Perfect.
I've done deals with. I handle 4 shopping centers for this landlord. I've done a number of deals. Super happy with me and my partner, and so I know what his hot buttons are, and I'll know for sure on Friday if like he has the, wherewithal, if he has the stomach to want to go through like a tough, potential eviction process with this other guy. So. Let me see.
No, I hear you. I'm in no rush. Take care of what you got to do. My only question is square footage. I know what I can pay. Yeah, and my debt service on the equipment, I do 15-year terms because every 7 years my tax benefit runs out. My depreciation runs out, so I always retool. If no one ever uses the equipment for 7 years, I wouldn't need to retool, but I always do because we're hot stores. It's not difficult. Dan, let me ask you this. Since we talked last a month ago, did you bring this to the landlord's attention, or is it just something that the tenant did?
No, I did. I talked to him. That's what he told me. He said, "Look,
something's happening.
You know, I'm not sure if I want to do anything with." And this guy is like limping along.
I know, of course.
From what I understand, he just kind of pays and like sort of, and then I mean, like it's
I hear you.
And
say no more.
So that's kind of what's going on now. I could push him to. I've done it before with him, with other tenants, to make way for better tenants, and so I know he's game and he trusts me. But it just
we want to spend the money, and typically, and I'll warn you, typically we're going to look for TI because this guy's been there. Air conditioners, right? Well, we need heavy tonnage. Normally, it wasn't done properly 20 years ago, and no big deal. The guy's got 4 centers. He's probably got a few bucks from the last hailstorm. And at the end of the day, air conditioning units don't just cool the air, they remove moisture. And what do laundromats do? They heat the air with all the dryers, and the moisture comes from our washers. So, be prepared. I'm going to front load this thing and ask you for
the okay. Look, listen, it's okay. I get it. Let me do this, okay? Like, let me get you the information. Get my meeting, and then, we'll do what we got to do. So,
no rush.
All right?
Text me.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Well, I'll send the email again once you send me back. Cheers. Yeah. As soon as part of the mirroring that I do, that I found out from a book I read that it was called mirroring, was when somebody says they need to get off the phone, I want to get off the phone even more. Not to be the guy that's like, well, let me ask you one more thing. So I know what I think. So let me ask you, what do you think of that call?
I think it went well. He seemed like when you were rushing him, he kind of wanted to keep talking to you. And it seemed like he was more interested in it than you were. That's the way it came off to me.
He just texted me, "This is Dan. Please text me your info." Well, we have his email, so I will send another one. I will text him that I'm sending another one. Now, look, you know me. I'm a skeptic. So to me, this is not a deal until you're signing a lease, until you are bleeding money and spitting ink. At the end of the day, this is a good call. And look, a month ago when we talked, he understood, he got it. He never looked at the email. If he did, he doesn't remember it. The email with photographs, that does something. It triggers your memory. Oh yeah, you're the guy that sent the pictures. And here at the beginning of this call, I know I hadn't clicked over yet, but I said, "Hey, it's Danny, the laundry guy." And he's like, "I'm sorry, who? I don't know you." It's like, no, you don't know me, but I don't block my line, so he sees my phone number and he never saved it, unlike me. So to unpack all of this, this is how deals start. They start with a cold call. The guy has no idea what we are doing. Well, not really. They start with you understanding how this works. They start with you going out to the location and saying, "This isn't a horrible laundromat. It's far from the worst, but it's time for a renewal of equipment. There's top loaders. You'd be hard pressed to find a laundromat that isn't doing something wrong, right? No matter how big and bad and wonderful it is. But this place isn't doing everything wrong. They've got their own soda and snack machines. How do I know that? Because they're empty. If they had a third party doing it, it's all the little things that I talk about that not only put profit in your pocket, but put a smile on your face and a spring in your step, right? You don't want to be filling soda and snack machines. And this guy figured that out. That's why there's nothing in them. End of story. He doesn't want to do it because he doesn't see the profit in it. Don't tell me that you're old. My grandfather, 87 years old, was still fixing outboard motors, and drinking coffee all day long. Sorry. It's not because you're old. It's because you know that there is no profit in sharing your time. So this is really good. We've got him. I'm not going to be the guy to ask any questions about previous operators. People make that mistake, and it is a mistake when you say, hey, what happened? Do you know why? Why that's a mistake?
Why?
Well, it shows you're naive and fearful. Even if the other person you're talking to is a schmuck, even if they're an idiot, a moron, a dummy, they'll somehow in their heart of hearts realize, well, why is he asking about that tenant? If he really knows the business, he knows how to better the business. It's not by some happenstance or circumstance or mistake that they failed and fell apart and are losing the business. So I don't ask questions. Hey, Dan, can you tell me what happened and why it's so smelly in there? I don't need to ask him that. I know why it's smelly. I know what he's not doing right. And I said, so if I ask questions, it shows naivete. We don't really know what's going on. And it also shows we don't know anything about the business. So I don't. Now, if he wants to volunteer information about the guy's old, okay. I truly feel, right? Feelings, what does that have to do with business? I feel terrible. I don't want anybody to fail, but that's on him. Now, remember last time we spoke, he said he's not month to month. These are the important notes we have to take. He's not month to month, but something's probably, in their Monday meetings, there's rumblings about this tenant and the national chain that's going to move into a bigger space and blah, blah, blah. And what the hell are we going to do with this laundromat?
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.